Next question is looking at the use of sensors and control. So question 7a. A college has created an indoor rainforest. The following sensors are being used to control the conditions in the rainforest. If a sensor detects a value that is too high, it sends a value 1 to the computer. Now we know that the only two values that can be returned by a sensor are 0 or 1. Okay, so you can set the sensor up to say that if the temperature is greater than, for example, 20 degrees, that it would return the value of 1 to let us know that it's too warm. Otherwise, it will return the value of 0. So sensors, the only two values that they will actually output will be a 0 or a 1 for the type of questions that you're going to be dealing with. So we can see that bit 1 is the temperature, bit 2 is the light, bit 3 is the humidity, and bit 4 is the moisture. By bits we just mean pieces of information. Now if we look at the values they have given us in the question, you can see they're made up of 4 digits. So the bit 1 will be the first digit, bit 2 will be the second digit, bit 3 will be the third digit, and bit 4 will be the fourth digit. So it's that the 4 bits are sent in the order. The 4 bits are sent in the order shown above. For each of the following, describe the conditions in the rainforest when the following bit patterns are received. So just asking us to describe what the actual conditions are like in the rainforest whenever the sensors return these values. So just to recap, we know that if a sensor detects a value that is too high, it sends a value of 1. So if it's too warm, you have a 1 in the first one. If it's too bright, or if there's too much light, there will be a value of 1 in the second bit, which is that one. If there's too much humidity, if humidity levels are too high, there will be a 1 on the third one. And if moisture is too high, there will be a 1 on the fourth digit. So straight away we know that for each of the following describe the conditions in the rainforest. So on this one we can say that the temperature values are normal, they're within the normal range, they're not too high. Light values are normal, humidity values are normal, and moisture values are normal. Okay, all we know is that if it's too high, it will send a 1. So a good word to describe their current state when they're all at 0 would be normal. So we know that all the conditions in the rainforest, when it returns these 4 digits, are normal. You should identify each one, so you should say temperature equals normal, light equals normal, humidity equals normal, and moisture equals normal. Now the next one we've got 1100, so it's telling us that, remember, it only returns a 1 if the value is too high. So we know that the temperature is too high, the light is too high, and we know that humidity is normal and moisture is normal. And the last one, we know that they are all too high. So in here, because we've got the 4 ones, you know that temperature is too high, we know that light is too high, we know that humidity levels are too high, and we know that the moisture levels are too high. So again, it's a fairly straightforward type of question. Once you read it carefully and you work out exactly how it works, there should be no problems answering this type of question. Just making sure that you explain your answer properly. Second part of this question involves moving a robot around a path. So this is similar to some of the things you might have done in Scratch, using control instructions to move something around. So first of all, it's telling us to this control. So the college uses a robot to teach computer control using the following instructions. So we have to use these instructions exactly as they are written in here. So forward obviously means to move it forward. Now you'll see N is just a variable, so you wouldn't actually write N into your answer. If you want to move forward 5 meters, you would write in FWD, all capitals, and then put in 5. We know that would move it forward 5 meters. If we want to move forward 25 meters, we would go FWD 25. Okay, these are just variables. You can substitute the letters for numbers in any of these commands that have them in. The key thing with this question is making sure that you're not writing it out like they have down the right hand side, and you actually use the instructions that you're given in the table. So write a set of instructions to make the robot travel the walkway shown in the plan below, pick up the rubbish and drop it in the bin. So the robot is starting off here. Okay, so the first thing that the robot needs to do is it needs to get from here up to this corner. So to do that, we are going to move forward 20 meters, because you can see from this value that the distance of that is 20 meters. So our first command is going to be forward 20 meters. Then what are we going to do? Now there is no command for right. Okay, if you look, these are the only commands we can possibly use. You will always be able to do what I've asked you to do from these commands, so think about it. We can't tell it to move right 15 meters. What we can do is to make it turn right a certain amount of degrees. Now we know what's up here, we know we're looking to go straight across to the right, so that's a right angle. Okay, so our next command is going to be right 90. So that's just going to get it to turn around. Instead of facing this way, it's going to make it face this way. Then what we have to do is we have to say forward 15 meters. So again, we're going to move it across. It's going to move forward 15 meters over to here. Now at this point, again, it's still going to be facing this way. So the next thing we have to do here is again move it around. Which direction are we going to move it? It would make most sense to move it to the right 90 degrees again. So instead of facing here, it's facing this way. So now we've got the robot. It's moved up, it's turned to the right. It's moved forward, it's turned to the right again. It's now facing the rubbish and facing the bin. Now you can see that the rubbish is 5 meters down the path. So we are going to now go forward 5. That'll move us down to the piece of rubbish. We are then going to use the grab command to collect the rubbish. Once we've collected the rubbish, then the last thing we need to do is to move forward the final 5 meters and to drop the rubbish. So we are going to again go forward 5, and the last one is going to be release. So with this question, it's fairly straightforward. You just have to take your time and think about it, not get panicked by it, not think it looks more difficult, not think that it looks difficult. It's an easy type of question, but you must make sure you use the commands exactly as they were given down this side. If you type in forward, you will not get the marks. You have to actually use this set of instructions. And remember, the letters N, T are variables which you will substitute for a number when you actually write out the commands. You will not have the values N or T actually in your instructions.